guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Music Addict here, and I apologize. It has taken me forever to get a new video out, but here it is, finally, and it should be a good video, very interesting video. And it is my opinion of the 5 worst theme parks in America. Please note, this is my opinion. Your opinion is going to be different. You're not going to agree with me to a T, and that is okay. But I'd love to have some friendly discussion. So once you watch the video, what you agree with, disagree with, comment below. And I am prepared to get some hate for this video, especially on my number 2 pick. I feel like is really going to be controversial. And just to note, I have not been to every single theme park in America. And so not every theme park's on this list. And I was going to do both America and Canada, but I haven't been to Luron, which I've heard is terrible, and I'm sure it will be, but I haven't been there. And the only park I've been to in Canada was Canada's Wonderland, which is a really good park, so that's not going to be on here. But with that being said, here we go with my top 5 picks for the worst theme parks in America. At my number 5 spot is the Mount Olympus theme park located in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Is this theme park necessarily terrible? No. I feel like it gets a slightly worse reputation than what it deserves. However, it does make my top 5 for a reason. Okay, so if you actually look at their attractions on their website or visit their park, which for right now for you, easier to look at their attractions. Okay, so let's see. We have 1 coaster, 2 coasters, 3 coasters, 4 coasters, 5 coasters. Okay. Sounds great, right? So then we have 1 go-kart track, 2 go-kart tracks, 3 go-kart tracks, 4 go-kart tracks, 5 go-kart tracks, 6 go-kart tracks, 7 go-kart tracks. Okay. And then we have 1, 2, 3 swing type rides, and then they have a kiddie train, a kiddie biplane ride, and a petting zoo, and that's it. There's like really no variety with this theme park. What they tried to do here is try to make it so, hey, we have a theme park in Wisconsin Dells, because if you know anything about Wisconsin Dells, it's famous for water parks, like indoor water parks, outdoor water parks, water park capital of, I believe, the world. I know the United States. It has the most water parks, and it does great at being a water park capital. Okay, so I did have some of my facts screwed up. The theme park and the go-kart tracks actually came before the water park, which, being the water park capital of the world, of course, they're going to want to add on a water park. Okay, their water park is actually really good. I really like the water park. The theme park, though, it leaves a lot to be desired because it's not big. You're done in 2 or 3 hours. You feel like you wasted money unless you get like a package deal when you're staying on property. So you're bored after not very long. Kids are ready to go. But when you're in the water park, lots to do, lots of fun. And personally, this park needs maintenance. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to die at the park, but you can tell the theme park isn't really being as well maintained as it should be, or as the water park is. Like, they pour a lot of money into the water park, but the theme park, they're like, hey, I have a theme park. Nobody else does here. Blah, blah, blah. And leave it at that. And that's the problem with this park, is there's just not a lot there. You're done in a couple hours, and maintenance sucks. Also, it's dirty. And anytime you go there, half the rides aren't even operating. You might have 2 coasters going and 3 go-kart tracks. The rest of them closed. And it's really disappointing, especially if you pay a lot of money to actually go here. So, is this park terrible? No, it's not terrible. However, if they'd actually clean, make sure all the rides are operating, do some maintenance, and maybe try to expand, um, that would definitely help improve this park. My number 4 pick is Six Flags America, which in my opinion is the worst Six Flags park in America. And I think it's probably the worst Six Flags park besides probably Laron's. But as I mentioned before, I haven't been to Laron, so I can't really confidently say it's the worst without actually going there and experiencing it for myself. Six Flags America is like the child Six Flags forgot about. Like it's there, but they just forgot. They don't invest money into this park. The park is just kind of ugly and drab. And for a park to be in like such a major metro area near DC, you would think that they would put more money into this park and care more about the park, but sadly they don't. They have one of the worst wooden roller coasters with Roar in America. No signs of RMC coming anytime soon. They have one of the worst SLCs with Mind Eraser. Again, and all their rides are just kind of meh. Nothing's really stand out um, to really have anything that great, and they get a lot of hand-me-downs. Or, ooh, guess what? I got a new coaster. It's a floorless conversion, but it's new. It's new. Just like nothing has really been done to this park, nothing's being done to this park. It's just not getting the love and attention that it should be. And with that being said, it's just the rides are just there. They're just meh. They're not anything spectacular. There's nothing stand out about the park. The park's pretty ugly. And the ride operators are some of the slowest, if not the slowest, I have ever seen in a park. Period. In- Including all theme parks I've ever been to. Like, my gosh. They make the 80-year-old cashier at Walmart look fast. It's bad. So basically, until Six Flags puts more money into this park, which kind of doubting anytime soon that's going to happen, this park is going to stay a pretty bad park, honestly. My third pick is the Adventuredome Las Vegas, which the positives I'll say that it's really cool how much stuff they actually managed to cram in 5 acres, and that it's an indoor theme park, so you can go any time of year. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, raining, whatever. Even though snow's not very common in Las Vegas, but it doesn't matter. You can still go to Adventure Dome. So let's start talking about the negatives. For one, it is located in the Circus Hotel and Casino, which is the biggest dump on the Las Vegas Strip. It's terrible, it stinks, it's old, it's outdated, it's just a dump. Somewhere I don't like going when there's so many other wonderful properties on the Las Vegas Strip. Okay, next thing is that it's expensive. It's like $40 for an adult all-day ride pass, and there is quite a bit to do, but for what you get, it's pretty overpriced. Um, but there is quite a bit to do for that. You do stay entertained for a while, not like an all-day thing, but a few hours thing for sure, as far as entertainment goes. Next thing is Las Vegas is supposed to be an adult's playground, so why we have a theme park in Las Vegas with kid rides too confuses me, but it's not really affecting my why it's my third least favorite. Um, as I said, it's in the Circus Hotel, which is a highly outdated hotel. So no matter what, you're going to have to go in the Circus to get to this place. It's expensive, $40 And for what you get, it's like, God, I feel like I get ripped off, but it is Vegas. Vegas is very expensive. And the rides, they're just there. Like, nothing too exciting. Granted, the coasters actually aren't that bad, all things considered. El Loco is actually pretty good, not gonna lie. Um, they do have a couple different 40 feet theater features, but they're always the same every time I've ever went there. Um, Classic Chaos, Slingshot Ride, Bus Ride, Carousel, Um, but it just leaves a lot to be desired. I feel like no matter what, even if you do have a good time, you feel ripped off. You do get a few hours of entertainment, but I feel ripped off whenever I leave here. Like, okay. And then they always want to change their hours of operation. So half the time you never know when it's open or not. And then every time I go, one of the coasters is always closed. Seems like they struggle with a lot of staffing issues. Um, they allow like pot smoking to go on there in the theme park before, and nobody's batted an eye. It's like management doesn't really enforce rules. I've seen adults trying to get away with junior passes that were clearly above the height limit. They didn't care. Rules aren't really enforced here. It's like whatever. I love children, but they pretty much run whatever here. Nobody says anything to them. So if you're an adult here, you're not really going to have a fun time. And the combination of it being in such a drab hotel, the combination of you feeling like you just got your money ripped off for your money, and just this is truly just something that I don't feel like us adults are going to get a lot of entertainment out of. I just feel like it's not worth it. I don't like the place. It smells. And if you're in Vegas, so many other things to do. My number two pick is Kentucky Kingdom, second worst park in America. And this is the pick that I know I'm going to get hate over. But hear me out. And I also want to hear your opinion of Kentucky Kingdom 2 and any of these other parks, whether good or bad. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with me. You may or may not. But I have an opinion, you have an opinion, everyone has an opinion. That doesn't mean to bash or degrade or call people names over their opinion. That's just unnecessary and uncalled for, and it's sad that I even have to say that. But anyway, Kentucky Kingdom is technically the closest theme park to my home, and but I go to Holiday World or Kings Island because I don't like Kentucky Kingdom. I have been there 5 different times. Each time has been a disappointment. I mean, I've been to even my favorite theme park and had a disappointing time. It happens. Sometimes you just do. But to go 5 times, every single time be a disappointment, yeah. Yeah. Every time. So basically, to start off, this park started out as a non Six Flags park, and then Six Flags bought them, and then Six Flags went bankrupt, dropped this park, and then luckily it did reopen. I say luckily because it is bringing in money to the area and jobs, and it's better to have it be reopened than to continue to sit and rot, basically. Okay, so my first visit there was under Six Flags, and I had 2 visits under Six Flags and 3 under the current management. While I do agree that the current management has been better to the point of where I would have gave this number one spot, if but the park has come some way. However, the park has several issues, a lot of issues, and I haven't encountered this many issues in other parks. Issue number one is the park is laid out so weird because it is in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky. Like smack dab in the middle of the city, near the airport. So most of the land has a less than 200-foot height restriction, so you can't have tall coasters, which, oh well. But I don't know why they chose to put it there. They are so landlocked that any chance of development, you got to pretty much get creative or take stuff out. So why they put it there instead of on the outskirts of the city, I don't know. But they did. That's what they chose to do. Um, Parking is actually on the grounds of the Kentucky Fair and Expo Centers. So you're actually paying them for parking. You're not even paying Kentucky Kingdom for parking. And the parking lot is set up so weird how you have to get in and out, always get confused, which technically that's really the Fair and Expo Center's fault, but still the park is located there. This park, hands down, has the rudest staff I have ever seen in any park. There has not been a single theme park that can compare to the rudeness of this staff. I don't know what their deal is, but they are so rude, and it's all of them. I haven't, I go to Holiday World, I go to Dollywood, I go to Disney World, I can go to even Six Flags parks, and they're nicer. But here, they are so rude. I don't get their deal. I don't understand it. Like, it's not that hard to be nice. The theme park is laid out so weird. The water park is literally in the middle. So, like, you have to walk through the water park to get to, like, T3 and some of the rides, and it's set up so stupid. And because of it being on the Fair and Expo grounds, you actually have to literally go up over a bridge, over a road to get to half of the theme park. So, like, it's like on the other side of a road to get to the rest of the theme park. Just stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's because where they chose to put it at. Like, you could have put it in the outskirts, but they chose not to. That and the rude staffs alone landed at the number 2 spot. But I feel like the rides aren't safe here. They're always making weird noises. A girl got her feet cut off here under Six Flags on an old ride that is no longer here. It's not very clean. I see trash everywhere. Nobody cleaning it up. There is literally no shade, like at all, to be found hardly in this park. It has gotten better under the new ownership than under Six Flags. So you actually have a chance of finding shade, but there's still not a lot of shade. Bathrooms are like the filthiest theme park bathrooms I've ever seen. It's a dirty place. Rides are not very safe. And then I've gotten hurt myself on the tornado water slide. Even though we were under the weight limits, we weren't doing anything wrong. And I've gotten hurt on the Himalaya ride. Gotten a big gash on my leg from it. And there's a couple other incidents that I can't remember off the top of my head, but they weren't as bad as those incidents that have happened here. I hate this place so much that we were actually given season passes for it. We went once, were there 3 hours, left, never went back the rest of the season, even though we could go completely for free and get our parking for free. That's just how much we hate the place. Um, it's got a weird layout. People are rude. Rides, I feel like, are not safe. It's not clean. It is very dirty. There's no shade, which makes for a miserable, hot place. It's like everything's miserable here. Everything's depressing. And every time I go, I have a miserable time. I don't have fun here. I know other people will come here, love it. And that's good for them. I'm glad the park's here to provide tourism money, but it's a park that I don't like and I don't want to visit it anymore. So hopefully I won't ever have to go back. My pick for the number 1 worst theme park in America is Indiana Beach. Now, this theme park was recently announced as permanently closed. However, a new owner has bought the park and is going to reopen it. So, I mean, I guess, it is a good thing that it's going to stay open for people in the area to go visit and have something to do and, create jobs and all that good stuff. However, this park sucks in its current state. So, the best thing that could happen is the new owners actually take care of the park. Back in, I think it was when I was little and a kid, this park actually wasn't that bad. It was never ever one of my favorite parks, but since the owners that just got rid of the park had taken over it, they haven't done nothing to this park. And that's really, really the big issue with this park is that there's been no investments done to this park. Like, I feel like it's worse than like Six Flags America or even Michigan's Adventure. That even though you don't have Six Flags investing in Six Flags America, and you don't have really Cedar Fair investing much in Michigan's Adventure, at least you don't feel like you're going to die on the rides. Well, at least Cedar Fair. But here, like, the rides are in terrible, terrible, terrible disrepair. Most of them need painted. The last time I was there, most of them needed painted. A lot of them I felt like I was going to die. And it was worse than any other place I went to, except, like, the only thing worse would probably be, like, the cheap fair rides. Those, they're sketchy. And this is kind of what, not kind of, this is what the rides feel like, is the cheap rides that are at, like, traveling amusement parks and carnivals and fairs. This is exactly what the rides are like. They are cheap. They are literally just fair rides. And it just does not feel safe. I'd like to think that obviously it is safe, but it just doesn't feel safe. The park as a whole is just kind of dull and drab. And it's on a lake, so that's a nice feature. But that's where it begins and that's where it ends, is the lake, and hey, you can go camping here. That is literally where the good stuff starts, and that is right where it stops. Half the time you go here, and several rides are not operational because they have broken down or they have continuous staffing issues, and I've heard numerous reports that they are not treated very well by their management. So definitely a big negative from me. And the water park sucks. Like, I'm sorry you call it a water park. Just should have just left it at the lake. Maybe tried to put in another theme park. I know they do struggle with space, but it just feels like everything's just like crammed on top of each other. And it's just, like, the lake's pretty though, but the park itself, I feel like there's not a lot of shade, which I get it. It's on a lake. Not going to be a lot of shade because it's on a lake, but some more trees or something would do. But then again, they don't have space. Everything's crammed together. They don't believe in beautifying their park, so we're just going to knock that out of the park. And knock that out of the realm of possibility, because clearly that's not going to happen. Now, these new owners, let's hope that they do something to this park, because it is sad looking. I remember being little and coming here, and it was awesome. I always liked some other parks better. It was never my favorite, but it was awesome. And it could just be because I was little. But, like, just nothing about this park is impressive. The rides are not impressive. None of the coasters are impressive. They're just there. It's just kind of there. That's literally it. It's just kind of there. And it's very disappointing. And it's sad. Like, and I wish that this park could be better. I wish all these parks on these lists were better. And I hope someday that all these parks that I have talked about today on this list do get better. I definitely see the potential with this park, but there's just going to need to be a lot of things done. And the biggest thing definitely is try to paint those rides, try to get different rides in, or at least don't make your rides sound like they're falling apart. That'd be great. Maintenance is great. And treat your staff better. Because from what I heard, they do not treat the staff great here at all. So, yeah. Well, that concludes this video of my 5 least favorite theme parks in America and what I think are the 5 worst theme parks in America. Please note, you are probably not going to agree with me 100%. That's okay. If you don't agree, let me know what you don't agree with in the comments below. Just keep it respectful because we all have our own opinions. In your opinion is not right, and my opinion may not be right or wrong or vice versa. And I do thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to my like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.